busy. Yeah, so at the moment we're only a few, so there will be more people joining us. But at the moment, because we are such a small group, I don't mind if you interrupt me and ask questions in between. I think this session we'll keep, for now, we keep it as a weekly session, and towards the time that you guys write exams, we can increase the number of sessions and things like that, and we will move it around a bit as well. So, but I'll let you know on the WhatsApp group as well. So, just for the guys that are not on the WhatsApp group, my cell phone number is on the screen. If you can't see it, it is 0837908387. But I assume you will also be able to see it later on when I share the presentation in any case. Okay, so I thought that, yes, most of the assignments are nearly done or will be done in the next week. That we, let me just wait. Okay. That we just maybe start from the start again nearly. Just seeing that there's a blank, so let's just quickly see to get the screen back on. Okay, cool. So basically, I thought that let's start at study unit 1, and nearly want to show you guys. I think this is out of one of the books that are available on this my UNISA site, but I also included, you will see later on, some of the exam questions that was asked in previous exams, so that we can just get nearly a better understanding of what you guys will get in the exam. And the way the exam is going to be, and I think this is also good that we have it for the rest of the guys that will see the recording as well. It is fully online. So what that means is you will get a question like this. You will pick the question. There will be nearly like a dot next to it, which one you pick. When you submit that question and you go on to the second question, you will not be able to go back to the previous question. And I think that is very important. So it's not that you can quickly look through the paper to see which questions are the easiest to complete. You will not be able to do that. So you will need to finish question 1 first, then question 2. Otherwise, you will not get the points for that questions. Also, what the lecturer said is they're gonna, so the question sets are very similar, but the detail within the question will be different. So when we get to some of the questions like stem and leaf, when you get later into confidence intervals, those kind of things, the question will be very similar, but they will use other numbers within, so that one can't communicate over any of any nearly online devices. So that there will, and the first semester there was 3 different papers. It seems like this semester there will be 5 different papers. So it is making it nearly impossible for anyone to share some of the answers. So just to keep that in mind. But saying that, I thought let's start at the beginning. Let's start at study unit 1 nearly. Look at things that I think will be important for you to look at for the exam. nearly when we look at the question, see what is important and what you need to look at. Okay, so any questions from your side at the moment? Otherwise, we can just continue. I think we are in total, we're only 5, including me. So if you quickly want to ask a question, please do so. Otherwise, we can just continue.
Hi, Jane. Quick question on my end.
Yes.
So you mentioned in the group that the lecturers are trying to move away from the none of the above options.
Yes.
The exam, will there be none of the above options?
It will not, there will not be a none of the above.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, there will not be none of the above. So yes, and from next year it will be totally out of all the assignments as well. So in the exam there will be not an option of none of the above. And I think that is important because it's nearly, and we've seen in the assignment, because how things are phrased, it is nearly, but there's something wrong in one of the options, and then none of the above is also nearly wrong. So I think that is why we are, so the lecturer is definitely on board with that, and we will not have that in the exam. It can also be that sometimes there's also only 4 answers, but I think at the moment, the previous online in May, June was still five options. And I do think there already the none of the above was nearly not an option already. But in the assignments, there was still, but in the exam, there won't be. Okay, so let's quickly start and let's see at some of these. So I took a few of the ones that I think nearly covers a lot of the first principles that we need to know about the different variables, how they are classified. So the first one, and I think this is also important, is when we read the question. So the variable customer satisfaction use the following 4-point scale, from being not satisfied to being very satisfied. So basically, in there, it tells me that we have ranking. So that for me is nearly, I look at that and then it tells me, okay, I'm ranking my order of satisfaction. So because there's ranking, which one will it be? What would you guys have said? When there's ranking, it's definitely not discrete. So I also look at, Neely will give you some tips as how I would have looked at it for the exam. So if it's not discrete, it's also not option 5. Then I'm always thinking, why would they have given me an ordinal option as well, when there is an ordinal there? So that would nearly trigger me to think, okay, but maybe 3 is right. And then if we go through the other 2, it's definitely not continuous, it's definitely not normal or nominal. So because it's ranking, it is ordinal. And yes, number 3 is the correct one, Naomi. So again, in the exam, it's nearly what I want to show you also during the next few weeks as we engage, is to look for certain things as well that can make it just easier for you. Okay, so then let's look at the next one. So interesting, there we used a 1 to 4 scale, but because it was not satisfied to satisfied or very satisfied, there was a ranking involved. Now we're sitting with a 1 to 4 scale, but it is different countries. So it is not ranking. So then I look at the options, and we know ranking is ordinal, so we know it's not ranking. So it's definitely not that one, and it's definitely not that one. Then the options is it nominal, is it discrete, is it continuous? And which one would you guys have gone for in this instance? So again, cool. It can't be continuous. Discrete is when it is 1, 2, 3 or 4, but not in a categorical way. So it can't be discrete. So the only one that is left is nominal. Yes. Do you want to quickly ask something, or?
No, I just actually wanted to say I think it should be nominal, but
Cool.
we've now worked through it. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so please, we are a small group, interrupt, shout out to me what you think, because it's nearly, I want you guys to, because this is nearly, I don't want to say it like that, but it's nearly the freebie kind of questions that one needs to get right, is these first few study units. So because it just gets more difficult as we go along. So, but I like to also that we nearly figure it out in a sense. So what you will also see, this is more the type, let me quickly look, question 5, question 12 that I've included is more the type of questions that they like to ask in the exam as well, because it nearly covers everything of your study unit. So if there is only 1 or 2 questions on your study unit, this is very typically what they want to do, is nearly include everything into that one question, so that you can get to an answer. And then they can ask you only 1 question or 2 questions because it covers nearly everything. Okay, so let's look at this one. So